Good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Furlow. I'm a 12th grader here at THS High School. I would like to thank you all for coming to our Black History program. Today will be filled with a learning experience, and I would also like to thank you guys for being a great audience. Now we'll have our assistant principal, Mrs. Daniels, to come up here and say a couple words.
Good morning, THS High School. All right, today is a combination of Black History program, and right now what's trending in our nation is the topic of school safety. So we're going to combine that. We're going to have Black History program. We're going to also talk about school safety awareness. The purpose of our program is to entertain and to inform. So sit back, relax. We have some wonderful students. Enjoy the program.
One day, when glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, one day.
Justice is juxtaposition of us. Justice for all, just stay specific enough. One son died, his spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rose sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When they go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots be on the ground. The camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory.
Good morning. I am Karis Nelson, and I have been given this opportunity to speak before you all today on the importance of women empowerment. For most of you, when you hear the phrase Black History, you think of Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Harriet Tubman. But what about the others? Dr. Shirley Jackson was the first African-American woman to receive her doctorate in nuclear physics and receive her PhD from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1973. Maria Van Britton Brown created the first home security system, but she wasn't a technician, she was actually a nurse. Alice H. Parker created the first central heating in 1919. For some of you that may have seen Black Panther recently in 3D, you can thank Valerie Thomas, yes, thank her, for that awesome invention of 3D movies in the late 70s. This is just a few of 100 inventions that Black women have created. Everyone in this room today is more than capable of doing something amazing despite any situation you may be in or any circumstances that you may endure. You may hear a lady's supposed to be this or a lady's supposed to be that, but what actually is a lady supposed to be? L stands for leader. A means you can accomplish anything that your mind can think of. D stands for determination to accomplish your dreams and make them reality. Y stands for you staying true to yourself. In closing, I want everyone to remember that you can and you will.
One of the things that's trending right now in our nation is whether or not we should have legislation regarding gun control. And so we have two students, one is going to argue for gun control, and one is going to argue against gun control. So at this time, let's give a big Towers High School welcome to Jay Dennis and Camille Sutton.
Good morning. My name is Jay Dennis, and today I'm speaking on behalf of the American citizens who oppose restrictions on guns. The Second Amendment gives the right for a militia, a group of citizens with military training, the right to keep and bear arms without being considered breaking the law. Our government had no standing army, so the Second Amendment was created to form militias and armies to protect our people from the British. I stand against gun control because as citizens, our rights should not be taken away due to the decisions people make. Gun control is to set laws that regulate the manufacture, sale, transfer, possession, or use of firearms by civilians. I stand against gun control because I believe the laws don't affect the decisions we make. Instead, it is the heart and character of the person that pulls the trigger. Laws have been enforced since the Code of Hammurabi, where it was an eye for an eye and people still managed to make their own decisions. Gun control was not being pushed when Trayvon Martin was shot with his Arizona drink and Skittles, when Michael Brown was shot in the middle of the street, when Tamar Rice was shot for a mistaken gun, or when George Zimmerman was auctioning off the gun that killed Trayvon for $250,000. At those moments, gun control and gun violence was ignored. Gun control was not being pushed as hard until the Florida shooting that occurred February 21st, 2018, when 17 people were killed. Our people and the government wants us to think the more laws they enforce, the safer the world would be. A big topic that's being pushed is that teachers should have guns. They should, because our Second Amendment gave us the right to protect ourselves and our people. School shooters know that all schools are gun-free zones, so they come to the schools thinking that schools won't fight back. If teachers were able to have guns, school shootings will end. The shooters will know schools are allowing teachers to fight back.
Okay, and now the argument against gun control. Thank you. Now the argument for gun control. Thank you.
Good morning, Towers High School. My name is Camille Sutton, and I will be speaking on behalf of American citizens who support
Ms. Pulliam, come in.
The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment is being upheld because it protects an individual's right to own concealed weapons for lawful purposes such as self-defense within the home. The Second Amendment went into effect with the confirmation of the U.S. Constitution in 1788. What people do not know is that the amendment was originally created to give citizens the opportunity to fight back against a tyrannical federal government. Since its authorization, Americans have been arguing over the amendment's meaning and interpretation. One side interprets the amendment to mean it provides for collective rights, while the opposing view is that it provides individual rights. Some also believe that the amendment's phrase, the right of the people to keep and bear arms creates an individual constitutional right for citizens of the United States. Assault weapons were necessary for defense against tyranny because they are the weapons of the common soldier. In Federalist number 46, one of our founding fathers, James Madison, argued for an armed citizenry. From my own perspective, I believe people should have the right to keep and bear arms for self-defense purposes, but these rights should be limited and should not include assault weapons. The age requirement to purchase an assault rifle or a shotgun should be raised from 18 to 21 because, in my opinion, no one is mature or responsible enough to possess that type of weapon at the age of 18. I've seen so many young and innocent lives being taken away because of weapons. Recently, a young man killed 17 people at a high school in Parkland, Florida. To be exact, a mentally ill boy, as they would say, took whatever he had going on in his life out on 17 innocent high school kids and their teachers. I cannot see how whatever he was dealing with was so serious that it justified him taking away the lives of other people who had nothing to do with his problem. On a personal note, in November 2017, my friend was convicted of murdering his girlfriend, all because they wanted to play with a gun. That's how simple it can be. A situation can go from you having your freedom to you being behind bars for 15 plus years at the age of 18, or even worse, dead. Teenagers are simply not mentally or emotionally equipped to be in control of weapons. On Wednesday, Walmart, the world's largest retailer, announced a change to its policy stating that it will raise the minimum age required to buy a firearm and ammunition to 21, and that it will also remove any items that resemble assault rifles from the shelves. But even with this, it is now being pushed for teachers to carry concealed weapons at school. In my opinion, teachers should not be able to carry guns in school for safety purposes. Think about it. If teachers had weapons in the school building, students could try to overpower the teacher and take their weapon. Students will also think it's okay to bring their weapons to school as well. Many students who are affiliated with gangs may start bringing weapons to school, and students who are bullied by others may also start bringing weapons to school. For the reasons I have mentioned, I believe we should have more gun control while gun ownership in America has been a long-standing tradition. The reasons for gun ownership have changed. Aside from self-defense or protection of your home, there's no need for an average citizen to own a military-style weapon. As it states, the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to possess a firearm unconnected with service in a militia and to use that arm for traditionally lawful purposes, such as self-defense within the home, not at work and not at school.
All right, give it up. Let's give both these students a round of applause.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen people have bowls of bullets for breakfast, watching milk become its blood substance and pouring out of your intestines, not knowing your family is the one that has to digest it. It starts when you're 9. Learning your times tables and the effects of a bullet at the same time, becoming so infatuated your little fingers imitating a 45. Unaware that an intruder may enter your classroom and let out shots of a 45. Embedded fear in adolescence, violence becoming a medicine, guns passed out like prescriptions, and did I mention? School has become the new shooting range. Fear of bullets in my books, level 3 lockdown. Prepare for an episode of Sandy Hook. Guns, black pieces of metal causing it an infatuation. Gunpowder's a junkie sensation, leaving shooters in a forever duration. But what is our government doing? School gun laws getting the short end of the stick. Might as well say that my school safety is dismissed. A moment of silence for the schools who had bowls of bullets for breakfast. Sandy Hook, Columbine, and most recent Stone Mountain, Douglas High. Schools in jeopardy. Got gun laws for 200, Alex? Where's the balance? I have a right to learn without people showing gunfire towards malice. Stop the gun violence.
If you do not know, my name is Ms. Britton, and today we come together in remembrance of the 17 victims that were murdered at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, as well as a handful of students we've lost here at home at Towers High School. Alyssa Aladev, Scott Beagle, Martin Duque Aguiano, Nicholas Dworet, Aaron Fife, Jamie Gutenberg, Chris Hickson, Luke Hoyer, Kara Labran, Gina Montalto, Joaquin Oliver, Elena Petty, Meadow Pollock, Helena Ramsey, Alex Schachter, Carmen Shintra, Peter Wang. We also like to recognize a few students that we've lost here to gun violence at Towers High School and home. Deborah Meatball Stevenson, Christopher Moore, Isaiah Ramsmer. Can we all please observe a moment of silence? Please stop the gun violence. The world needs a whole lot more love. Thank you.
No, there was something that and something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I leave no regrets. Leave something to remember so they won't forget. I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I wanna say I lived each day until I died, and know that I meant something in somebody's life. The heart I have touched will be the proof that I leave, that I made a difference in this world will see. I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I wanna leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I just want them to know that I gave my all, did my best, brought someone some happiness, let this world a little better, just because I was here.
Hey, let's give our students another round of applause. Okay, now this time, one of the things that we want to talk to you about is the shooting that happened in Florida. One of the things that's important to know is that that could have happened at any school. That community, Parkland, Florida, was considered to be the safest city in the state. They had also practiced the drills and did the things that they were supposed to in their due diligence to make sure that they were prepared for such an emergency, and it still happened. And so it's very important that all of us understand that it is all of our responsibility to keep our schools safe. And one of the reasons why we wanted to have the program is we want to talk about some of the unique things that have happened in terms of Towers High School. Now, in the last 5 years, we've had 5 weapons on campus. I want you to think about that. That's like a weapon every year. The last 5 years, we've had a weapon on campus. Last year, we had a group of young men from another school running to our campus, and they had a weapon. And I really want you to understand the commitment that our staff demonstrated by keeping us safe this week, because one, they didn't have uniform, so our staff converged on those particular students, got them off campus, and was able to secure the one that had the weapon. And so they really need to be commended for the great job that they did in keeping us safe. So let's give it up at this time. The other thing that we need for you to do is, in emergency situations, when an administrator or a teacher is directing you on a lockdown procedure to go into the nearest classroom, we need for you to listen. Or when we're trying to de-escalate a situation, This year we had an incident in which two students had an altercation. I was a little concerned, I was troubled. You know how you just get a bad feeling? And I said, I better walk this student to the car. Normally we don't do that. When I get to the car, a teacher had asked me a question, so in the process of trying to walk to the car, the student got ahead of me, because I thought the student was still, next to me. So this student is arguing with another student outside. His guardian gets out the car. I know that this is trouble. The guardian, which is a female, was getting out the car actually to talk to me because the student was still arguing with another student standing outside the building. Then when the car door opened, I knew it was a male sitting on the passenger side. Once again, I knew that this would be trouble if he got out the car. So I immediately move over. So when he opens the door, I'm standing there. So he would have to get past me to get to the student. Now when he stands up, I see that he has 2 weapons on the front seat. Now, I'm trying to de-escalate, so I said, sir, I'm gonna need you to get back in the car. I'm trying to de-escalate. He made a couple of comments. Fortunately, he got back in the car, he left. Now, there's a difference between being brave and being stupid. I want you to know this. If he had grabbed that gun, I was gonna get out of the way. So let's get that. I was around and say, I told that boy to shut up. You don't listen to nobody. But, seriously. Okay. But emergency situations, they're just that, they're emergency, they are not planned, so we have to be prepared. So when we talk about our intruder alert drills and those kind of things, Mr. Denson is going to come up and talk about what we need to do and the importance of our intruder alert drill.
All right, let's try it again. Good morning. As Mr. Daniel alluded, intruder alerts, the teacher should be reviewing you all the process on what we are to do. And a lot of times when you all just don't get it, don't understand it, when that don't ask you to move, just please move. We're more so worried about your well-being as well. Think about it. Your parents put you out this morning, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they put you out to come to school. Listen to me carefully. They put you out to come to school every day with the intent that you return home safely. A lot of times you all know how to cut that radio off and just listen.
Go radio.
It's real simple. One day you will have your own kids, thank God. And once again, once they get where you are today, you're gonna make sure, I want to make sure that your kids come home every day. But we have the intruder alerts, we got lockdown levels 1, 2, and 3. And remember, life is too precious. I don't know how to explain to a parent that you didn't return home. I mean, the things on the wall are up there for a reason. To inform you so you know what to do. Parkland, of course, is the last, hopefully one of the last things we need to experience here at Towers or anywhere in America as a whole. I mean, a lot of those 17 kids will never be seen again. I mean, it is real serious. Sometimes it's not worth being nosy, sticking your head out, trying to find out what's going on. Just follow the instructions. Level 3 lockdown. Everybody is away from the window, the door. You're in the corner. A lot of times, the shooting will probably go towards the noise. And as you all can see on the back wall, we have the cab's finest along with Officer Bullock. We have the Kemp County Sheriff Department as well. Throughout the day, you will see, could be the SWAT team, could be GBI, but it's all about safety. It's not just Towers, it's all 16 high schools in the county. So make sure you tell that it wasn't just Towers that they're at today. It's all 16 high schools. That's per the superintendent. So it's not like we got an issue here. But the theme for today is to be proactive. To help y'all understand, it's about safety. Everything we do should start with safety first. And of course, the mindset comes second. We need you all to come back to school the next day and every day. And as I close, I like to tell y'all every day, I do love you.
And to talk about that at this particular time, we're so thankful that we have the grandmother and mother of one of our students that has been incarcerated to come and speak to our students. At this time, let's give a big round of applause to Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Vine.
Morning to our high school.
Morning.
I'm the grandmother of Cameron Williams.
Oh.
It's a lot of stress. It is something that you cannot explain because someone has their own stress way of dealing with it. Because I'm the grandmother, it affected me the most. Because I knew what type of person my grandson was. It was painful to see someone that was a nice person arrested and faced incarceration. Sometimes it could cause some parents to lose their mind. That's what happened to my daughter, Sharon, who is Cameron's mother. We could not afford an attorney. We had to use the public defender. The times away from the family is the biggest part of the stress. You don't know what you're going to happen when they are incarcerated. They have to fight to survive. The holidays is the worst. We don't celebrate Christmas or other holidays like we used to. It's not the same. When all the family members are not together. In closing, I want to encourage you as a grandmother to get your education. I know how peer pressure can be when you make decisions. Please consider feeling of your parents. The decision that you make also is the biggest impact, and those that love you, which is your family. What matter whatever my grandson went through, he was still determined to get his high school diploma. And he did. He got his school diploma.
It takes a lot of courage to come up and do this. Give him another round of applause. As we get ready to close, after me, Mr. Dunson is going to come up and make some closing remarks, and we'll go review the schedule for the remainder of the day. But first, let me tell you that working with these students for this program, to put on this program, it was a complete joy. It was a great group of students. Whenever we said practice, they were there to practice. They worked hard. They played hard too, but they worked hard. They played hard. Let's give all the students just please stand. Let's give them another round of applause. Jakia, and I'm thanking everybody, but the program idea, I was in the hallway on hall duty like a soldier, and
Get back.
Joshua came up to me and he was saying that we didn't have a Black History program, so he wanted a Black History program. He mentioned we didn't have one in February, and at that same time, Bobby and Jakia was there, and then they said, well, we'll sing, and I told them that if you want a program or something like that, we would sit down and we're planning it out together. And we had started planning since then. They just did a wonderful job. And I just want to emphasize that the whole group of students was just a joy to work with.